1 year ago, I posted a video talking about how I earned $100,000 in my 20s. To put things into perspective, I had absolutely no money at all 3 years ago until I accidentally stumbled into a good job, but most importantly, a payday routine that I was unconsciously doing. I realized that if I could earn $100,000 before 30, then if I could somehow crystallize that knowledge and pass it on to you guys, then you guys might just be able to achieve it as well. So in this video, I'm going to share my 5-step payday routine that helped me to earn my first $100,000. So let's first talk about the pyramid of spending. So what this means is that you are essentially tracking all your spending expenses for the month itself and putting them into a pyramid. So just like how the shape of the pyramid is widest at the bottom and starts to slowly narrow in towards the top, I want you to rank your expenses from the biggest categories all the way to the smallest. So I'm a very big fan of spending the least amount of effort to obtain the maximum returns, which is essentially a very fancy way to say that I am very lazy. So if you look at my expenses from last month, which came from this video over here, you'll be able to see this is how the pyramid looks like. You can very clearly see amongst all the different categories of expenses, the biggest expenses come from food and drinks and investments. So of course, insurance and rent also take up a big chunk, but those are already pretty low for me. That's not something I also want to consider to reduce as well. So if I want to fully maximize my effort, I would target these big expenses and zoom into them to see exactly what I'm spending on. So perhaps I've been eating out too much this month itself on expensive food and I'm overspending a little bit. So the solution for the next month is relatively simple. Just eat out less and I'll potentially be able to save a few $100s this way. You can always cut down expenses from the smaller categories as well, but I wouldn't recommend that because you're unlikely to obtain the same big effect as compared to tackling the bigger categories. It's just the common sense or proper logic. You just aim at the ones that you spend the most. If you can cut down on that, you're going to save the most amount of money with the least amount of effort. The second step would be to track all your income sources. So now I know what most of you will be thinking. Xuan Kai, you have all these income sources because you are old. Yeah, I know I'm old and I know that you're likely to have just one income source and that would be your job. But it's really not that difficult to start out earning small sources of alternate income. You could be selling used items on Carousel or even just putting your savings into a high interest bank account like the UOB One account that I'm using, and you'll earn a small return from there every month, which are all potential ways of earning alternate sources of income. So if you do not have any other sources of income, please use this as a reminder to really start doing all these things. There are links below in the description box that you can really search for all the things down below, everything that I'm using for all my alternate sources of income. You can see all the videos that I have talking about all the sources of income that I have. They're not huge, but they also contribute to the monthly income that I have, and I'm hoping for them to one day be able to rival my full-time job or even more than my full-time job. So for you guys who want to get started, please do so as well. But you essentially want to calculate all the income sources for the entire month. I do a video like this every month where I calculate all my income sources and add everything up to know accurately how much money I'm earning. So this is super important because I want to know how much money I'm earning so that I have a clearer idea of how much I can invest and save every single month. So take my July income sources for example. I have 7 income sources that generated around 11.2k. I want to know exactly how much money I'm earning in total once I started investing and doing side hustles. So having a clearer idea of how much net income you have is super important because then you can move on to the next step. So step number 3 will be to maximize and save the difference between your net income and total expenses. This is why I continue to do my money diary videos and income videos every single month. I document them on my channel because one, they are videos that do really well. Everybody is really very capable and they want to know exactly how much money I'm spending or how much money I'm earning, and people are always very, very interested. And number 2, it keeps me very consistent with this habit of keeping track of my expenses and income. So with these 2 important figures, I'm able to see how much I'm left with every month for investing and saving. So for example, in July, I earned a total of $11,200 and spent a total of $3,600 on expenses. So that means that I'm left with $7,600. I saved $4,000 from it and invested 3.6k into buying DBS shares that pay me a whopping $54 of dividends this month, which is awesome. It's not crazy money, but it feels really good to get money from other sources of income apart from my full-time job. In case you guys didn't know, YouTube doesn't pay me that well for doing these kind of videos. This is just a part-time gig. I have a full-time job and I'm doing this at night, after my full-time job, and this is my hobby in that sense. Having this habit habit of consistently investing and saving, that will really help you to keep track of your goals, which in this case could be the $100,000 before 30 years old. So saving money is definitely important, but investing is even more so, because that money that you invest will continue to grow even more. So my current investing portfolio of around $100,000 generates around $4,000 passively every year without me doing anything. So I believe that there's no such thing as passive income, because you cannot expect returns without doing anything. Honestly speaking, when you first start investing, the returns will be so small that you really want to give up, because no matter how many thousands of dollars you're putting in, you're really getting cents or even dollars back in. But it's just the way it is. You really need time to let your money sort of compound. But if you start this habit of investing early enough, one day the returns might just be bigger than your income without you having to put any extra work other than reinvesting the dividends and returns. Step number 4 will be the mission-focused strategy. This means that you need to have a mission or a goal for what you're saving or investing for. So saving and investing is really like learning how to drive a car. However, if you have no goal in mind, which means no destination, you have no idea how to reach there or which direction to even drive in. So you need to find or set a goal that's inspiring enough for you and motivates you to get started and continue thriving consistently. So for example, I have 2 goals right now, one short term and one longer term. So the short term goal is to save money to buy a house, as simple as that. I'm going to buy a house, I'm going to make a very nice cool YouTube studio so that I can make videos like this for you guys with a better backdrop in the future. That's something that's going to come up maybe in the next year or so, hopefully, fingers crossed. But that's something that I'm really looking for. So for that, I need to save $3,000 every single month to put aside, and I usually keep them in the UOB1 account that generates 3% of interest every single year. So this money is fairly liquid, as I can withdraw them anytime for the house, but I'm still earning a decent return on it. The second goal would be to have a dividend investing portfolio that can give me monthly returns when I sort of retire in 20 to 30 years time. I am quite sure that I'm not going to retire in 20-30 years time. I'll probably pour in even more effort and time into my YouTube channel, or start a company, do something cool, start a project that really takes up a lot of my time. But that's something that I would definitely continue doing, seeing the way I'm doing my YouTube channel right now. But that aside, for the money that I'm putting into this account, I know that I'll not touch it in the short term, and it will only be used to build a safe and enjoyable life for me in the long run. So with these 2 goals in mind, it makes the journey a lot more fun and exciting as you hit milestones and continue to see progress. Making progress towards a goal is one of the things that's very satisfying in life that you guys should definitely be doing every single day. Since you clicked on this video, you're probably interested to make $100,000 before 30, so that can be a reasonable goal for now. Of course, please also use common sense to set a realistic goal so that you have a chance to achieve that, so that you can motivate yourself and not just give yourself unnecessary pressure and FOMO just because your friends have all these shiny things like having a nice car, nice house, and you are just doing it out of jealousy and spite. And that brings us to point number 5, which is to savor the journey. This is ultimately the journey of life, and this payday routine will stay with you for a very long time. So to do something consistently and sustainability for the long period of time, I believe that it is vitally important to enjoy the journey. Ali Abdal writes in his book that you will be more productive and more effective if you can enjoy yourself and have fun doing whatever it is that you are doing. So it's definitely really important to make this entire journey a fun one. The concept that was introduced to me by my friend was this thing called the fun money. So this basically means you can set aside money to spend on whatever it is that you want every single month. So this could be $100 or $200 every month that you can just ball out and do whatever you want with it without feeling guilty that you are spending it. It could be on the dumbest thing, whatever you want to do, whatever that brings you happiness and fun, do it. So my girlfriend and I enjoy going on holidays every few months, but it takes up quite a bit of money. So I allocate $600 every single month into a travel fund that can allow us to travel, take a breather from work, and just enjoy ourselves. So there's no such thing as a stupid way of spending money. You spend your money the way that makes you happy, and you don't let anyone judge you for it. Of course, if you're not saving or investing money, then that might be a stupid decision. But once you've allocated enough money for savings and investments, feel free to use that money to have fun and enjoy yourself as well. This was the entire payday routine that has helped me to make $100,000 before the age of 30. If you can implement just one of these steps into your journey, you will likely come a lot closer to achieving your goals. Hopefully, you guys can start off your investing journey once you have more money in the bank after using this payday routine. If you enjoyed this video here, then you'll probably enjoy this video here on my $50,000 dividend portfolio update after August salary. Thanks for watching, have an amazing day as usual, and I'll see you guys in the next few videos. Bye bye.